I'm State Representative Jane Garibay, representing the 60th District, which is Windsor and Windsor Locks. And today I am here with a very good friend, Mayela Aguirre, and who is a proud Windsor resident who I've known for some time, and she works for the public schools for 24 years in the adult education. The first 15 years, she worked as a teacher. God bless you, Mayela. 8 years as the program facilitator, and as of this year, the program director. Mayela serves on the Connecticut Associations of Adult and Continuing Education Board and the Connecticut State Department of Education Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force. Good morning, Mayela.
Good morning, Jane. Thank you very much for having
your last name. I should pronounce your last.
Aguirre.
But yeah.
Aguirre.
So, Aguirre. I always get confused because mine is, we pronounce it Garibay, but the real pronunciation is Garibay.
Garibay.
Garibay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know. But anyways, I'm so happy to have you. I know we were talking in the last few days and you were telling me about some exciting things about adult education, which I appreciate, because when we moved here in the mid 80s from Mexico, my husband took his citizenship class and English class at the adult education and was then able to go on, because those tests are not easy. They probably end up knowing more history, etc., than many Americans, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
You know,
we have a very robust citizenship class that's held Thursday evenings. A lot of people, last spring we had 12 participants.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's wonderful when, you know, the students come back and they thank our teacher and our program because they received their United States citizenship.
Yeah, not that that's today's topic, but you have to live here for 5 years, you know, to come to this country. The paperwork he had to do, it took 9 months, and that's being married with 2 American children, you know, half American.
Right.
So there is a very, you know, a difficult path, a challenging path to citizenship. And then once here, waiting the 5 years, and then you have to apply. It was a very proud moment when we went and he was sworn in. So very exciting. But tell me, what else is going on in adult ed?
Well, this year we were able to accumulate an additional space for adult ed. It's wonderful because in the past we used to have to lug our stuff back and forth to the high school,
Right.
You know, and things would be missing, and the high school can be pretty intimidating for, you know, a student. So now we're contained here at the Board of Ed. We have our own space. It just streamlines everything. It shows the town that it's an important program, and it's a proud space for our students to come and learn and, you know, earn their high school completion, earn their citizenship, speak better English. And all of this is so that they can better their lives, get a better job, support their family better, and just have a better life overall.
Right. And the GED isn't just for immigrants, it's for any American citizen or anyone living here to take that GED so that they can have, as we were talking the other day, just very briefly, I know what I've learned is that if people can get an education, whatever that may be for them, you know, whether it's getting their GED or they want to be a plumber or they want a college education, you know, whatever that is, and can support their families, that's half the battle in life right there, right?
Yep, you're absolutely right. And in Connecticut, there's 3 different ways to get a high school completion. So we offer the GED. We're also a test site. So our students, you know, come here, they take their classes, and when they're ready, they'll sit with me to take their official test just across the hall. But we also collaborate with East Hartford and West Hartford to provide the National External Diploma Program, which is another way to get your high school diploma. And then there's also the Credit Diploma Program for a student who has probably only 5 more credits to go. That would be the route that I would recommend that they take. So Connecticut is great because it provides you to get your high school diploma 3 different ways.
Right.
and, these collaborations, we get to do free of charge. So our program is free of charge to any Windsor resident.
Right.
All the materials, everything is free of charge. And then our collaborators, we make do a memorandum of understanding, and it becomes free for students that we send to the other programs.
That's awesome. And so if I were looking to get my GED, there is a lot of support
Oh, absolutely.
in your department to help them. It's not, okay, come in, we teach you up here. There's like constant support to make sure that they succeed, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're sending texts, we're calling you. We make sure, we ask, what are your barriers? If we haven't seen you, you need childcare, you need transportation. We were able to provide transportation for one of our students who happens to be of age to do the dial-a-ride. I helped her fill out the paperwork. I took the money out of our coffee money and walked over to the other side of the building and got her a ride. And she's very grateful because she can come to school now without having to ride her bike all the way from the center of town. She did it all last semester in the winter also, but she does take advantage of being able to use that service for her medical appointments, which are in Manchester.
And I know my father got his GED. He was forced to leave school way back when to help support the family. And that was he was born in 22, so way back then. And he got his GED and he went on to be a builder, is what they were called at the time here in Windsor.
Yep.
And he did Long Hill, he did Timber Lane, he did a lot of the streets that are here in town. And a lot was due to being able to get his GED.
That's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've also taken classes. I have to tell you, I took the French class. Yes. And I bombed out. I just couldn't do it. Even knowing Spanish and everything, it was above, what and you have to be committed, you have to go
right.
here classes,
Right.
I was a 64-year-old skipper,
Uh-oh. So yeah, the other side of our program is we do offer enrichment classes for the general population, and those are held at Windsor High School. Even through the pandemic, we were able to do some online. We did, which we, had a plus and minuses, but my friend who's a chef in Ohio was able to teach a Zoom gingerbread making class, and we had people participate, and it was a good time. And so this semester we have just a handful of classes. Our yoga, really is busting out of the seams. So we hold those on Monday nights at Windsor High School in the library. We also have chair yoga for those who, don't want to do the up and down. And I've taken the chair yoga myself, and you get a very nice stretch doing that. Our sign language, American Sign Language, is doing really well. We haven't done any cooking because I just want to kind of get past a little bit of this pandemic a little bit more. But those are very robust. And we're fortunate that we can share the high school to provide that.
Yeah, that is very nice. I know a lot of groups are doing better in attendance with a hybrid meeting, or even during COVID, because then it's so much easier to attend. You don't have to drive, during the winter or whatever. So having some Zoom is really kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think there was a silver lining in some of that. And I also think we realized that we don't have to be crazy and driving to all these state meetings, down by the shore, when, more people can attend if you do it on Zoom or some kind of online platform.
And as we've gotten better with it, it's been really good. So you mentioned that in the future that you might have an open house for people to come in and see the new.
I do. I want to kind of, because we haven't been able to celebrate graduation, those students who get their high school completion, we do cap and gown. We do a graduation ceremony, and I would like to attach it with that, hopefully maybe next month in November before the holidays, have an open house.
Awesome. When my husband did it, there wasn't that type of graduation. I think it's really important because it's a super achievement.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
There's older people that have waited years to do it, and they can finally get it. That must be like a very happy moment. And you
It's,
also send out a wonderful brochure.
yep.
Does that get mailed to every house?
So this one, this is the fall. It gets mailed to every active household resident in Windsor. If you don't get a copy or somehow, you know, you lost it, I do drop off at the Windsor Library and Geisler's.
Okay.
So you
Yes,
can always
I've seen
find
it.
some copies there. But yeah, this has our information about our GED, ESL, citizenship classes, but it also has our yoga and language and other useful things to find in here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, and what if I'm a person that, you know, I have a skill and I want to share it? Are
Oh,
there ways for
absolutely.
people to
Yep,
present?
because the way I offer classes is whoever's willing to teach their talent. So yeah, the more people that are interested in teaching, the better. And you just email me at maguire@windsorct.org. You can also find it on this brochure or at our website at windsoradulted.org. That's also a really nice website too, because the brochure is on there, but you can register and pay online for those enrichment classes.
That's really
No
nice.
need to mail it in or you know, call it in, even though you can, you know, if you want to call it in, especially the students who March of the pandemic, we had to cancel that whole semester. And Jane, I wrote over 140 checks as refunds.
Wow.
Yeah. But some students decided, you know, just to leave it as a voucher, but they're not sure how to use that voucher. So they give me a call and I'm more than happy to register you over the phone if I have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that must be super confusing, you know, refunding some, keeping some.
Oh,
And that.
it was a nightmare, but I mean, you know, none of us saw it coming, but I was happy to do that.
Right. Well, that's pretty awesome. Windsor's lucky in what we have to provide our citizens because not every town has what we do. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the room and how it's going. You also set up the little library. Was that last year or did we
I think
outside?
2 or 3 years ago, we
That long?
have a little free library. Our students or anybody who comes in to register their kids will grab a book. It's a beautiful library and it's pretty well maintained and filled with some good books. So at the bottom level are, you know, the pre-K books, and then it just goes up by level. At the very top, we have high school or adult reading materials. The Family Resource Center is really kind to also provide us with some extra backpacks because they do backpacks for the children, and we'll put those around the library. And some of our adult students have grabbed some of them because they don't have backpacks, or they saw that, oh, well, their kid doesn't have one, so they take from there. So it's really good that, you know, we're all really working together.
Yeah, that is good. And I know they're graduates of Windsor High School. My sister Carol Engelman's part of that group, and they did a ton of backpacks and supplies this year. We'll have to keep the adults in mind because you don't think of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what's nice is we start a little later in the school year so that our students can get their kids, you know, ready and used to the school. And then it's their turn and they come in and they
Right.
they were able to get the backpacks also.
I'm going to date myself, but when I went to Windsor High School, backpacks didn't exist. You
Oh.
carried all your books in your arms and your pens. You had your purse and whatever. Yeah, seriously, there were no backpacks.
Yeah. Yeah, there weren't for me either, Jane.
I know. And you're much younger than me, but
But we had strong arms.
We did or something. I don't know. But you would just have to go back to your locker more often.
Right. Right.
And the high school in Windsor was when I was there, it was before the addition. So
yeah. It was doable. Except I don't know about you. I always, for whatever reason, I never used the top because I couldn't see or reach.
Yeah.
But I
still have nightmares of forgetting my locker combination. Every once in a while, I'll have that dream throughout the years. It was like, oh my God, you know. And that's when we covered our books with brown bags.
Yeah.
That was you would save it from the grocery store and then
and then you would draw on them
and do it all. So fun times. Well, thank you so much for coming today to On the Porch and sharing about adult ed. If you send Howard your information, he can put it at the bottom so that
Sure.
people know how to contact you.
Great, thank you. And Jane, thank you for everything that you do.
Well, thank you.
Greatly
Windsor's a great
appreciated.
town and we both love it. So it's great. There's a lot of good people.
It is. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Have a great day, Mayela.
You too. Bye-bye.
So thank you everyone for listening and we'll see you next week on the porch.